Okay folks, here's the solution. Compare it to what you've done. So I'm going to have a variable, number 1, let's do set to 0. Set number 2 to 0. Set number 3 to 0. Okay, now output, please enter in your 3 numbers one at a time. So input number 1, input number 2, input number 3. Okay. Give yourself a giant tick if you manage to do something which has that. This isn't vital, but it's useful to have. Now here comes the tricky bit. If number 1 is bigger than, greater than number 2, what we want to do is then number 1 is bigger. So if number 1 is bigger than number 2, then display this message. Now look what happens next. I put an if directly underneath the then, so it's still inside here. Because now what we're going to do is compare number 1 to number 3. If number 1 is bigger than number 3, then output number 1 is bigger. If you didn't get it right, but you've caught on to what's going on here, pause the video and see if you can finish off the rest. Okay. Else output number 3 is bigger. So this bit of code here literally first of all starts off by checking number 1 against number 2. If number 1's bigger than number 2, then it's going to do this. We'll then take number 1 and compare it to number 3. If number 1's bigger than number 3, it's going to say number 1 is bigger. However, if number 1 is smaller than number 3, it will output number 3 is bigger. However, what would happen if we go back to the beginning, number 2 is bigger than number 1? Well, none of this will run. So let's see what should happen. So these 3 dots means that there's code above, which was the code you've just seen checking to see if number 1 is bigger than number 2. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to have an else. So if number 2 is bigger than number 1, then basically we know that number 2 is bigger. This 2 lines here means a comment. What that means is it's useful for us as a programmer, but it's not displayed on the screen. It's invisible, it's just notes being taken. So we know that number 2 is bigger. So now we need to do, or compare number 2 to number 3. So we do the same again. If number 2 is, what we don't need to do is, we can just do greater than number 3, then output number 2 is bigger, else output number 3 is bigger, and if. I should have done an end if on the other one as well, so that means this is finished. Okay, folks, if you got this right, go and see your teacher. If you get it wrong, I want you to try and do it again now that you've watched the video. If you don't understand, go and see your teacher as well. By the way, before you hang up on the video, by having if, whoa, didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that at all. By having an if, then, else, that's just known as a simple selection. But you can also have if, then, and then another if, like we did for this program. If that's the case, then this is called a nested if, where you've got an if inside another if. So if you think back right to the beginning of this program, so let me show you. So what you see here is quite simply nested ifs. So you've got one if, which is in blue. Look what it's doing. You've then got another if, which is in red. Look what it's doing. And you've got another if, which is in green. I want you to also explain to your teacher why you use nested ifs. What's the purpose of it? If you fail to do this, you will not be allowed to move on.